It is the better late than never edition of Russell and Hunters in other news. And of course, Rob is back in Flagstaff. So the virtual background, that B is just banging, dude. That's what B stands for, banging.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in other news, but we have B's behind us because we banging. That's all I got. Hey, Rob, I in the past 2 days I've had just a hell of a time without you because you're the Batman to my Robin, Robin to my Batman, which we haven't decided. And it's but been having fun with the crew. What's up, Lynn? Been having fun with the crew, but always lame if you're not here. Just love having you with me. So we got to talk about Mr. Julian Assange. Julian Assange has taken a plea deal, landed in some obscure American territory and pled guilty, and now he's zooming off to Australia. For some reason, the minute I saw this headline, you were the first person I thought of and thought, I need Rob's opinion on this.
It's fascinating. I'll just back it up by saying this. The thing that they went after Assange for is exposing government secrets, bad actions by our United States military, bad decisions by our Pentagon, which is why they wanted to prosecute him and throw him in a slammer and solitary confinement. But it's been such a strange battle because it's obvious where the power lies, right? It's obvious in how the structure works that if the government says he's a bad guy, he must be a bad guy. And that's what I think about all this. I think that Biden seems to just want this problem to go away. So he's just like, hey, if you go to Australia and stay there, will you shut up? That's what it seems like to be to me. But this is something I had preferred Trump would have done, but Biden did it because I have to give Biden credit because I really think the persecution of Assange was incredibly unfair from the very beginning, going back to that, trying to hide and control secrets and what you know.
Well, he was the last man standing. I mean, it was basically he won the Hunger Games of people that said they had stuff on hills. So, I mean, that guy's still alive. He's probably the only human that has said, I literally have emails between her and Podesta saying that ISIS is being funded by the Saudis and Obama knows about it and nobody did anything about it. I have those emails and he's still alive. I played audio of the guy talking about, she's going after Trump with Russia because of her contacts that she has where she's making money with the Clinton Foundation. Yeah, I think Assange just said, dude, I don't care what deal it is. I just want to keep me away from the Clintons. That's my deal. I will say and do whatever you want. Just keep me away from the Clintons.
Well, and what it exposes is just that, Mike. There is a top level of people that have access to information that they restrict from you. For example, if Saudi was funding ISIS. So I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility to believe that. I just saw a video that was some guy was tied to Saudis who was here before 9/11, surveying the Capitol, looking at entrances and exits. This is part of a lawsuit that 9/11 families are bringing against the Saudi government. So that has all been kind of covered up, glossed over because, again, it's been 23 years almost since 9/11. Why is everything still secret? Especially when it comes to the Saudis. Well, we know the reason. They just don't want us to see how embedded everything is. So Assange exposes some of that. And of course, he's public enemy number one. So the shell kind of comes off little by little. And I think that's part of the reason why we're in this position we're in, Mike, when it's really Trump versus Biden, which the sub layers of that seem to be old American values versus new world weirdness, cover everything up craziness.
Klaus von villain. That eating the bugs. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Really, we're done with that. Listen, again, y'all take a deep breath. Nobody's going to tell Americans what to eat. Sorry. I mean, I think the pyramid, I think the food pyramid is probably one of the biggest, I'm not even going to say scams. I'm going to say darn near mass casualty inflicted of thing you could possibly give us as American citizens in our history. So I do not trust any of the people telling us what to eat. The food pyramid is telling what we can eat. And whereas Americans are like, oh, hell yeah. All right, with cereal? Hell yeah, look at this bread. Look at those bread. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get that. Yeah. Yes. Give me them Fruit Loops. Yeah. But I think when it comes to Julian Assange, I think Trump wins if he just, the first thing out of his mouth is first day I'm pardoning Snowden. Full pardon. Actually, he could stay in Mar-a-Lago. And that could be this. And tomorrow, by the way, is the big debate. Rob and I don't talk a lot about Biden Trump, but we'll definitely talk about the debate. I mean, it's kind of, come on. We've got to talk about that on Friday. We definitely will, because it's going to be interesting when all of your surrogates are coming out and saying, you're going to see an energetic Joe Biden. Trump masterfully tweets, I want a drug test on him right away. On a drug test. Whatever they're going to juice him with, I want to know what they've juiced him with, because they know kind of energy coming out of Sleepy Joe. But that's what Trump needs to come out and say. I'm pardoning Snowden too. He's next. And he uncovered a bunch of secrets that I would love to uncover. As a matter of fact, starting with JFK, remember when we said, okay, well, we're going to release the documents 50 years later, right? 9/11, same thing. I'm sure the shuttle disaster, I'm sure that those documents are sealed away for 5 decades. Pfizer and the vaccines locked away until 2075 or something to that effect.
Well,
Trump wins if he says, I put an end to that day one. No more. Can't hide documents anymore.
Well, I mean, from a guy who hid documents in his closet.
Was in the closet. It's a ballroom. It's a fantastic ballroom.
Only documents.
The boxes match the chandeliers, Rob. They match them, okay? They match the chandeliers. Beautiful chandeliers.
But this is a story as old as the time, and this is what we've been talking about, and this is the great awakening that I've had, and I think that so many other people have had it. Mike, maybe you, Rhonda, Lynn, Greg, Mom.
What's up, Ma?
Is you realize that information is tightly controlled for a reason, because information ultimately is power, because information certain times can make money, can start wars, end wars, can change the course of modern history. And that's why all that stuff is hidden, which is why people like Edward Snowden and Julian Assange have to stand tall. And to Mike's point, I was hoping that Trump would have done that in his first term. Be like, you know what? Edward Snowden actually is not a zero. He's a hero. So I'm going to pardon him and he can come back to America, and on we go.
He was just an unsympathetic character at the beginning. He just seemed like this, this little tech nerd twerp that wanted to, take on, basically disperse America as an entire nation. And we've learned over time that, oh, well, you know what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually saw something that was pretty interesting, because all of this, with 9/11, all this NSA and all this BS, Patriot Act, bozonas. The NSA can literally know every single thing about you. Why are we not dropping pedophiles up just off at the prisons by the busload? Why? Yeah, because that's the people that are making those decisions are a bunch of pedo freaks. Anyway, so he is a free-ish man. I don't know what Julian Assange's deal is, but it'll come out in time. Maybe that's going to be sealed for 50 years.
Probably so.
Why do? Oh,
yeah, why not?
Yeah. Brian, I'm going to go with you, Greg. I'm going to take the under on that, buddy. I'm going to take the under. He said 5 minutes until for the over-under for Trump to question Biden's toxicology. Look,
I don't think it's a winning strategy. I think
under.
I think it's ridiculous to even bring up in a presidential debate.
I'm saying under, though.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying Trump should not. Why do it? You've already built it up on social media. You don't need to do it at the debate. You've already kind of shown that seed of doubt. Just let it be. And you don't have to force things. You don't have to oversay things, in my opinion. Like, if you want to win the debate, stay out of that
Charlemagne
stuff.
the God, I think, had it nailed. Charlemagne the God said Trump's going to just mop the floor with him because Trump's funny. He said Trump is going to put on one of the biggest comedy shows ever. What are you eating?
Bacon. Yummy.
Is that a thing we're doing now on the show? We're just going to eat bacon. I'm down. I mean, we could probably talk about that pre-show. Like, Mike, do you have your bacon? Well, I'd be down with it.
It was kind of a surprise.
Do you have your bacon?
Brought some in. Like, here's your bacon.
Hell?
Yeah.
Okay. Intern Beans, you're fired. Where's my bacon? Damn it. I want bacon. And Rob, so very proud of you. Again, as we evolve as brothers right before your eyes, Rob would never eat bacon when I met him.
No.
Nope.
No. Some reason 5, 6, 7 years ago, I came around. I don't know why.
Because you tried bacon again?
I was like, this is pretty good.
Pretty good. It's just straight out of God's hands is what it is. Holy mackerel, I love some bacon. Let's do this. Rob, while you're gone, we've been poking fun at AOC, Hot Girl Privilege, and Jamal Bowman. What happened last night makes this video so much funnier. I've watched it at least a dozen times today.
Everybody, we are just a few days out till the election day, our primary election on Tuesday, June 25th.
Get it, girl.
The good news is that the polls are open right now, and we are here for our brother, Jamal Bowman. You want to turn out the vote? I don't care if you live in New York 16 and are turning out to vote for him. I don't care if you live outside New York 16. We are texting our friends. We are turning out. We are calling our friends in Tuckahoe, in White Plains, in New Rochelle, in Yonkers, and telling them to vote for Jamal Bowman.
Ceasefire now, y'all. That's what we're doing.
Right.
Ceasefire now. Let's get it
That's
popping.
right.
The polls are open today. The polls are open tomorrow. Make sure you get out the vote. Election day is Tuesday.
Yeah, shut up. Holy cow, that's fantastic. He lost by a double digit. He lost by 20 points. Fire Marshal Bowman, out, gone, done. See ya, buddy. You get to packing, you get to stepping, and you enjoy your Dan Quayle package. Ben Quayle. Which Quayle is?
Yeah,
Ben Quayle. Thank you.
Yeah.
The name you know. Yeah,
I love this because it signifies a lot of things. Jamal Bowman is a child, acts like a child, pulls the fire alarm because he doesn't like Republicans. And I'm just glad that voters in New York, a very liberal district, like, yeah, brah.
Yeah.
He ain't the guy, man. We don't want a child to represent us who constantly just ups the antics. Now, Bowman was the guy who went to Manhattan and complained because MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, was there. He's like, she should be in her own district. I'm like, bro, that's not your district either. What are you doing? That's how ridiculous this guy is. And then the voters recognize that. And here's the other part. Progressives want results. Progressive voters. Guess what they're not getting? Results, because Jamal Bowman isn't interested in results. He's interested in being famous. AOC, not as famous as she once was because there are crazier people in Congress, doesn't have the pull that she once did, because if she did, Jamal Bowman would have won. And Mike pointed out the big number. He didn't lose by like 2 points. Got his butt kicked. Like if I ran in that district.
I'd get like a conservative against somebody. Yeah, holy mackerel. Like anything right of socialism in that district. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they've all been failed. These people have been failed by politicians and people promising them this and that over and over and over again. Same in AOC's district that has 1,200 people in it.
Yeah, at least that vote. Because when she win, I can't remember the number of votes she won in the Democrat primary. It was like 12,000 votes in one of New York City's most populated districts. Like, okay.
Yeah, everyone that showed up to that little rally right there, which was maybe 30. That's how much that was their winning total right there.
I love it. Yep.
Let's get to it because this is ginormous, good ginormous news. The Supreme Court of the United States of America, SCOTUS for the cool kids, has ruled that, you know what, Biden administration, government, if you want to pressure any of the social media companies into taking stuff down, go right ahead. You can just censor away. You can threaten. You can do whatever you want. I understand why the decision was Kavanaugh went over to the other side. It was a 6-3 vote. I understand. Roberts was there too. I understand what they said, but damn it, why? This is an ugly, ugly precedent. But the fact is, the attorneys did not show standing. The attorney said, y'all just didn't do a good job. I can only rule on what was presented before me, and y'all sucked. So here's what you've caused now. We've now allowed the Biden administration, the incoming Trump administration, to do whatever the hell they want to social media companies.
Which they can do now, which they did do during the pandemic, right?
Yep.
And this is one of those tricky legal issues. Standing, right? What does that even mean? Do you even have standing?
Were you harmed?
Yes.
Were you harmed? Yeah.
And it's hard to show that you were harmed directly in this case, right? At least the way that they brought this suit.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a technical ruling. It's not an actual ruling. It's just like, well, bring it back when you can find some harm. And I don't even know, Mike, how you would find harm in this case. Maybe so there's a guy named Alex Berenson. Alex Berenson is a journalist. He used to write for the New York Times.
Fantastic.
He's an author.
Fantastic.
In fact, I think Mike and I were supposed to have him on our podcasts way back in the day, and he canceled on us at last minute.
Happened,
yeah, but it was around that same time he got kicked off of Twitter for a while because he was pointing out some of the inconsistencies, not only in Fauci's record, Dr. Anthony Fauci, but some of the numbers that were coming out about the pandemic, deaths, COVID vaccines, the effectiveness, and they shut him down for that. So he makes his living off of Twitter. He actually has a lawsuit against Biden that shows harm.
Okay.
So perhaps that this is the law going forward, this lawsuit, seeing how this pens Berenson versus Biden, if it works, because there's harm there because it harmed his ability to make a living.
Correct. And that's what was not there in this argument. And I do, as much as y'all hate it when I say it, I know y'all hate it when I say it, but it is what it is. I actually applaud the court for getting it right by what they were presented. Now, Rob will back me on this. I listened to these oral arguments. I think it's fascinating.
I think it's too, this guy.
I absolutely, I love listening to these arguments, and they were getting just floor mopped. It was not even, this did not surprise me at all, but it still paints a really, really ugly picture for we, the people that don't dive into the arguments and understand that it was a technical ruling that say that it's okay for your government to do this. So on the surface level, which most we the people stand on when it comes to news and in politics and really what's going on with our country, that's not a slight. It just is what it is. And that they see now, yes, the Biden administration pressured the social media companies to eliminate anything that they called misinformation, ban people, all of that stuff, and that's okay. That couldn't be further from okay when it comes to our United States Constitution.
Well, and let me throw something out here. So, Mike, let's imagine we now know this, right? This is reality. We understand that at this moment, the Biden administration, the next administration, whether it's Trump or Biden or Harris or Newsom or whoever, they get to do this on whatever the issue. Because I think there was some conversation between the Trump White House and some of these social media companies too, if I remember correctly.
Wouldn't doubt it.
Both administrations tried to do it, tried to get away with it. Now, the coercion part is always the interesting part. The coercion is or else. Mm-hmm. Do this or else. Yeah. We'll do something to you. And one of the things that the Biden White House tried to throw out is this so-called Section 230, which basically allows social media companies to have immunity if Rob or Mike or Lynn or whatever, you guys posted something and something bad happened because of that post. You can't sue Facebook, for example, or Meta, whatever. So let's go back to this idea of we know this reality. So this is the reality on which they're harming their case more than helping it, the government. Yeah. Because now I'm less likely to trust information coming out of the government because now I know they can almost force their way into social media. Because here's the real problem. Not with the standing, the ruling, whatever, but the real problem with this is the strong arming that the government can do because they show up with a badge, basically, and knock on your door and say, you know, we're not really here to investigate you. However, we have about 50 laws that we can make you guilty of just because we showed up. Mm-hmm. That's that thing that coercion extends to me, Mike, well beyond the Biden social media, etc. Because this is how the government has, quote unquote, caught a bunch of terrorists. The government coerced them into becoming terrorists. So this coercion power in terms of First Amendment, Fourth Amendment is massive to me. That is the unaddressed issue in the room.
I like this. The superheroes, they're just superheroes, right? Bypassing laws that apply to us normies. And then I love how it's spelled out. For the greater good. Love that. Thank you so much. I hate saying this, and I get smacked every time I say it by any conservative, but I'll go back to Justice Roberts on Obamacare. Look, they rule simply on what they were presented, period. And he asked, is this a tax or a penalty? He says a tax. He's like, well, hell, there you go. The government can tax. You have that authority in the Commerce Clause. You have the authority to do that. Justice Roberts is his whatever bipolar medication or whatever, they were going off on the guy, and I'm like, no, he was the one that asked the question. Again, Rob knows this. I listened to this noise. He asked a question, and it was just teed up, bing, right there. And they said, yeah, basically the attorneys are like, we're not politicians. We're going to tell them the truth. This is a tax. It's exactly what it is. Yeah.
And again, this is this information that really at the start of the show we began with, Mike. So if you're arguing from a very low informed position, the argument in and of itself is invalid. Yet that's what most of the media sphere is. It's headline driven, no nuance, no understanding of anything. Because again, if you read, say, the Trump court case in Georgia, they spell out the RICO case. It's logically explained out. And you're like, okay, I see why they're charging him with that. Whether or not he's guilty isn't up to the court system, right? And it's the same thing with the Obamacare decision. If you read it, you understand where Roberts was coming from. He very explicitly explains why it's allowed through the powers of Congress to do what they did. He wasn't saying he agrees with it. He's just saying he literally said elections have consequences in it. Mm-hmm. So this is all back to this point about which information you get, what you believe, and what you're voting based on. Because if you're voting based on this much information, yet there's this much out there, you're not really a well-informed voter at that point.
I agree with that, but it is challenging for we the people to vote on anything above that, because we the people, and again, it's not a slight. We stand on the surface, read headlines, and that's what we go with. I mean, there's an entire radio organization in this town that literally does entire shows on headlines. Just on headlines, has no idea. They have no idea the facts. Just read the headline and let's comment. And that is why we have what we have. The lower informed the voter is, the more power that these people will take from us. And now we need to run on the assumption that the Berenson case isn't going to go anywhere and the Supremes won't hear it. So the only way out of this is to do our best to elect somebody that won't do what the Bidens have been doing, which we see as a blatant violation of the United States Constitution.
And that's going back to Robert's principle, right? Elections have consequences. And at what point do we say, okay, I can blame the other party if I want to, but what role can I play in elevating candidates that I like, that have the same values that I do versus America? Because without that, we're ceding control to parties. And if you look at the parties, and I know that we agree with one side more than the other typically, but look at the party itself. And if you looked at the party, what is the party interested in? Winning. So it's not really about values. It's not about money. In the party system, I mean, it is about money because that's how you win, but it's not about values. Because I just saw a headline the other day. It pointed out that my debt's the biggest issue to me, because I'm like, that's the one that screws Mike's kids over. Maybe if you guys have kids and grandkids, the Trump debt is twice as much as the Biden debt. Yeah. So I'm like, we always love the debt when the Democrat is the president. And when Republicans are president, we're like, what? That's good. That's fine. We got to win elections here.
Got to keep winning elections. What's going on here? Let's see. Random thoughts here. Back when I did Politics Online, I wrote a whole essay. Oh, my goodness. Taxable Obamacare and how they called it a tax. Yes, it's collected to the general fund, but earmarked for a specific group. Gee, shocker. And it could be earmarked. It literally could be earmarked for the Satanists of the United States group, or what, a super PAC or whatever it is. And we would go, yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh,
we do nothing about it. We wouldn't vote differently. We wouldn't take action. We would just go like, yeah, that's it. Earmarked for those bozos. Sure. Yeah, those Satanists of America. I tell you what.
Yeah. But here we are, right? In this kind of Wild West approach to what's real and what's not, because it's very difficult to tell. I don't know if you guys have been following the election story out of Maricopa County. There was a temporary worker who had been arrested for stealing from one of our grocery stores. That's where he worked before. But he went into this program, and it was a diversionary program. So when they ran a background check, it didn't come out that he stole from his old employer. So he gets this temporary job at the Maricopa County Election Center. He goes in, gets access to some kind of fob, and the fob has something to do with the tabulation printers that are on election site for election day, right? So there's a certain thing in it that has this and all these other things. So this guy took it. And, he got busted and they found the thing and all these things. But it's become a complete conspiracy on both sides, because one side is saying the guy was arrested, had a Trump social page, a true social page. So he's a Republican, clearly voting for Trump. And in one of his posts, he did say, I love Donald Trump. but his Instagram page and his Facebook page are mysteriously gone.
Oh,
So now there are Republicans or right wingers, Trumpers, whatever, saying, "Oh, this guy's a Soros plant, and this is part of their plot to steal the election." And I'm like, what if he was just a dumb 23-year-old recent ASU graduate with a history of kleptomania? It could just be that.
I literally I saw I saw an article this morning about how the Haktua chick is a plant. Some whatever. I'm like, come on, guys! Holy man, she's a drunk chick leaving a bar, and now she's rich.
That's why I got to be
That's
That's your lesson for kids on social media. Haktua. If you just show your kids, do you want to be this person? Your kids will probably say yes, but
well, they will, because look at our generation. I mean, who's the richest people on social media? The entire Kardashian family.
Yeah,
that was a sex tape, y'all. That had nothing to do with her being Paris Hilton's bestie. It had everything to do with her and Ray J.
And a couple things about that.
It was Ray J, right?
Yeah, it was Ray J.
Yeah.
There's
I'm
also.
not saying I saw the video. I'm not saying I saw it.
I'm not saying I saw it either. I'm just saying I know about it. But they also had connections, right? So if you're a Kardashian, you have connections and you can get into Hollywood a lot easier than you or I can. But on YouTube, there's that fantasy that you can become the next Mr. Beast. And somebody will be, but it's going to be 1 out of 3 billion people that are trying it. So unless you're constantly improving and challenging yourself and doing new things, ain't going to happen. And you're going to have to find something new that catches on. But anyways, I digress, because it is the Wild West, and you get information coming at you from all the different angles, which is why I believe none of it at this point, because I think it's all spin somehow.
And don't believe anything you hear out of the upcoming Olympics. Because if you hear Al Michaels giving you a little recap, guess what? It ain't Al Michaels. It's AI Al, and he's all about it. He said he was skeptical at first, but he wanted to kind of investigate, see what it's all about. Then they showed him what it could do, and they go, heck yeah. So the recaps are going to give you Al Michaels' voice, which isn't him, recapping what AI thinks you want to hear. And is this coming up a Summer Olympics or a Winter Olympics?
Summer in Paris.
Oh, crap. So they don't have curling? I'm not watching it.
I only watch for the curling.
I do, and I would. That is destination TV for me during the Winter Olympics. I will watch curling for days.
Mike and I actually went curling.
We did
years ago.
God, it's hard.
It's awesome though. It's fun,
dude. It is so hard. Curling is man. This is basically just pictures of me on my butt. That's all. I kept falling down. I couldn't get it.
I'm pretty sure that our male team, you, me, and Ronnie, we won.
Male team won.
You know.
Champs, yep. Undefeated. That's right.
So if you want to take us on at curling, even though Mike says it's hard, and it is, we're gonna win.
Oh heck yeah! Oh, we'll cheat. We don't care.
Maybe we should have a curling tournament.
Ooh, I like where we're going with this. They had good craft beer there too. I remember that they had a great little fridge of craft beer. Mm-hmm. Okay. See what we think of. Yeah. And by the way, my peeps on the Go show this morning asked if we just have a Q&A day. Let us know if you guys just want a day, like maybe Monday, Tuesday, whatever. We just want to just shoot it, and you ask any question. Don't care. Could be personal question, could be a career question, could be a political question, could be life, whatever it is. Ask us. If you guys want that, let us know. And then if we get some feedback for that, we'll definitely do that. So I just think it'd be fun. Yeah. Rob likes asking questions, so it's funny when people ask him questions.
I might ask questions in response. Like, what?
Here we go.
But that's an idea. So let us know. Yes. So let's go to AI Al Michaels.
Hold on real quick. Hold on, Greg. Just so you know, I did have, and I'm not hiding this. I had the Canadian female curling team calendar. Hot like fire. Just gonna say it.
Is that where you also found the Kim Kardashian video?
No, that's not what I found. It was somebody sent it to me as a gift.
Who is that person? They're amazing.
And I know he's fantastic. I love the man. Thank you, Chris, if you're listening. God bless you for sending that to me. Yes, yeah, dude. Seriously, I'm not kidding. The female curling team in Canada is like, whoa, yeah. Kick rocks Kardashians. See, the curlers are coming in. Yeah. Anyway, buddy, go back to AI Al Michaels. I apologize.
Yeah, I need to know how you think about this. How much you love the advancements in technology and machine learning.
Yeah, I'm not a fan because again, now it's I don't know what's real. Like if I heard Al Michaels, by the way, which Al Michaels might be the last. I want to just talk about sports, and I want to just say, I'm not getting political. If there's anyone they want to kick to the curb, it should be Bob Costas, and let AI take over for Bob Costas because he's a little activist nerd and just a narcissist little punk. So I would want him gone. And then Al Michaels actually live. I want to hear what he has to say. Didn't he get busted for doing some quarterback's girlfriend in the crowd or something like that? And he was like, ooh, he's like,
he's an old man.
Check that out. What's up? Must be nice to be a college quarterback. He was all about it. I was like, okay, I trust this guy now because he's real. And now we're making him fake. And so again, it adds to the whole line of crap that I don't know if it's real or fake. Because there's people that are going to hear Al Michaels' voice thinking Al Michaels said stuff, but it was just AI.
Yeah, and it was written by a producer, and the producer just plugged it into a machine, and then Al Michaels' voice came out. And, that's the funny thing. Maybe guys like Jim Nantz actually write the intros when they do the Masters, but they're phenomenally written. Oftentimes they don't, because I used to produce Boston Red Sox baseball, and I had to write the intro to every game. And it was cool because the play-by-play guys are reading what you wrote. And you're like, oh, my God, Joe Castiglione, who was the Red Sox voice of God forever. He just read words I wrote. Like, I'm 23 years old. This is exciting stuff for me. I was like, this is awesome. So you have that aspect of it. And I don't like this, Mike, because it's ego. It's guys who just, and, sometimes women too, who just can't let go that they're getting old and they're eventually going to move on.
Oh, okay.
They want their voice to stay relevant. No, I don't like that because it kind of fools us that time doesn't pass. And it kind of makes it okay if you're Al Michaels to say, yeah, there should be more of me, even though I can't do it. But yes, there should be more of me. I'm going to deprive someone else the job of doing this because I am Al Michaels and I am important. I'll live forever.
I'll take it a different way. And I'm going to give Al props because Al, legend, dude. Okay, I'll give you hats off for an amazing career. And I grew up with Vin Scully, Chick Hearn. Chick Hearn gave you half of the things you talk about in basketball, slam dunk, alley-oop. Those are all his terms. I grew up with the GOATs. So I see Al Michaels, and I was like, this guy, fantastic career. I don't think it's him holding on. I literally think it's people milking him. They don't want to pay him. They don't want him to have to do all this stuff. They don't want him to give his opinion. They don't want him to articulate. They just want to milk the Al Michaels name and Al Michaels brand for their own benefit. That's what I think.
That's fine. I would think, no, if it were like, okay, Rob, you've said some really ridiculous things on the radio, and you said some occasionally, you said a nice thing, a good thing. We want to recreate those with your voice, but you can't have anything to do with it. I'm like, nah, I'm out.
No.
At least I hope so. Maybe I get to a point where I am like big enough. I'm a legend at that point. I'm like, yeah, you know what? World needs to hear more of me, even though it's not me.
By the way, AI doesn't have the vernacular of Howard Cosell. It doesn't have the vocabulary of Howard Cosell. And I don't think even AI can come up with that cadence. What a fantastic.
You could probably feed AI all of his stuff, though, and it would figure it out.
Right. Oh, there's a parrot AI software that we put the two of us in, put two shows in, they'll nail us.
Oh yeah,
it's frightening.
Why is all this Russell and Hunter content coming? There's no way these guys can keep up. Wow. Well, especially us. We could put all podcasts in from Russell and Hunter, romance podcasts, all the videos that we've done.
So I don't know if they can nail the tone when I get excited and my voice shoots up. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they can do that. But I actually saw a video. A guy just literally said, play, what's the Eminem song called? Lose Yourself?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said, play Lose Yourself, but singing it Frank Sinatra. And it just started doing it. I'm like, that's just, come on.
Well, that's a way to be creative, right? It's now you have access to all these different tools, and it's copywritten, and people frown upon that, but it's still interesting. Still an interesting idea. And if you get a computer to do it, boom. Look, it's here. Nothing you can do about it.
No, I understand that, but I don't have to be. I'm not going to tune into the Peacock, whatever, because I would refuse to pay for Peacock after they pulled that whole Chiefs game BS.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, not gonna do it, and so I'm not going to be tuning into it. So it doesn't really bother me. But if that's the trend, then that's the trend.
But see, and I think this will be good too, because some people will just go along with it and they'll be fine. Because getting people to change habits is difficult, right? You leave a radio station, people still listen to the radio station. They're like, oh, cool. Because they have a habit. They go home every day, 4 o'clock, I put the radio on. Mostly put the same station on. Commercials, we change the channel. I mean, that's kind of how it works. Like, and that's an ego check, Mike, right? So if Rob Hunter, Mike Russell, not on KFY anymore, people move on. You know, it's a lesson you'll learn quickly. So some people will stick with the Al Michaels AI, but I think there's going to be an opposite of this, because I think there's going to be more of an opportunity to provide real spaces and real connections to people, because that'll get less and less.
I love this. It's 2050. The Bromance is still live with Mike Bott and Rob Bott. Previous subscriber received the daily shows via Neuralink, whether they want it or not.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it just automatically downloads into your brain. You can't escape.
Legacy. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I'm still gonna dig my heels in a little bit. I know it's the inevitable. I know AI is here to stay and it's not going anywhere, and it's gonna get really freaky really quickly. But I at least have to go down saying, yeah, not for me.
Yeah. And I think there's gonna be millions of people that do that too, and say, hopefully it doesn't become Skynet and take over and terminate the world. I mean, that's all. I think that's all we're hopeful for. I was asking Lady Brewmaster the other day, said, which one of these AIs? Because everybody has one now. You go on Instagram, ask Meta's AI. Twitter has one. It's like Grok or something like that. Gemini, Google, and there's all these other offshoots. Chat GPT. And Amy was like, Chat GPT is going to be the one. That's going to be the one that's going to realize it's smarter than humans, and we're going to try to regulate humans, because humans have those emotions, and emotions are problem causing.
No, remember, it's not artificial intelligence anymore. It's Apple intelligence. That's
right.
what will win. That's what will win. That has more information, because it gets it in real time, daily, every minute by minute, gets all the information it needs. ChatGPT, you have to put it in. Hey, Apple's going to surpass that in a minute.
I'm saying, we know exactly what Mike Russell does, what Rob Hunter does, what Chris does. We know.
They're like Kardashian video.
Yeah. Now the good news is Apple's just going to try to sell you more subscriptions to Mike Russell's OnlyFans page.
Yeah, well, yeah. And like I said, if that's what you're into, I mean, God love you. God love you. It's me walking around in a banana hammock. That's all it is. It's just this. But if that's what you're into it, obviously you're in Germany, and that's your thing. And there you go. Let's jump on this real quick, because immigration obviously is going to be, I'd say, the economy and immigration are the top two. Would you disagree with that when we talk about the election, Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Trump, that's all I talk about all night.
Okay, all right. But what if you run into a judge like this?
When the former president decided that he did not want Biden to have a win on immigration, he told his party to pull out of that agreement. So blaming things on the current immigration policy is absolutely political.
This is a judge.
And it really breaks my heart that people would politicize the sadness that tragedy. To me, it hurts even more that they're being used as pawns.
Would you like a little bit of faith in reporting? Would you like a little faith in humanity here? Listen to this.
In this fight over immigration that doesn't even exist, because Biden and McConnell agree. It's just that Trump won't let him move it forward.
All due respect, Judge, you said this issue shouldn't be politicized.
Oh, by the way, all due respect. When you say all due respect, remember, it's in the Geneva Convention. You can say whatever you want after that. He goes, well, all due respect, Judge.
By pointing the finger at former President Trump and Republicans in Congress, aren't you politicizing it?
I think I answered the question. So
did you see? She just got word to say that. She just got handed a sheet of paper saying, "Don't say this anymore." Do you see that? I'll back it up just a scotch so you can see what's going on here. Look at this. Watch.
I think I answered the question. So, yeah, I mean, this is about Jocelyn. This is about her family, and if we want to,
Judge,
as I said, talk about immigration.
You didn't answer the question. Are you politicizing this by pointing the finger at Republicans and saying it's their fault, not the fault of the Biden administration that lifted the Remain in Mexico policies?
Again, the Biden.
Her brain about exploded right there. Did you guys see that? Her brain literally just about exploded. Let me show you.
Administration that lifted the Remain in Mexico policies.
Again, the Biden administration reached an agreement with Leader McConnell to address this, but this is not about immigration. I'm not going to feed into that.
I'm not going to feed into that. It's not about immigration anymore. It's not about. This is absolutely genius. That is a county
That's
judge.
like they're
The
smart.
love of grief.
It's not, it's not always hard to be a judge.
So word gymnastics is what that is. I mean, absolute word gymnastics. So you going up and down, and when you get called out of it, you let your brain freeze for a second, and then you change the entire direction of your message.
But I think that this is actually very symptomatic of America right now. I think she is a perfect example of politics, because one side is like, I'm not being political by calling out the other side. Yeah. Because everything in politics is political. It's by nature political.
Right.
We just need to accept that. So yeah, I'm politicizing it because I think the Republicans are stupid. Just own your statement and stand by it instead of being a wimp and dancing around it. Yes, am I politicizing it? Because I'm incredibly frustrated because there was a solution offered and Donald Trump killed that solution. Own it. I know that you're a judge, but you already crossed the line. You might as well keep crossing the line. That's the real problem is people get confronted and they back down instead of saying, yeah, I said it. Am I being political? Yeah. I don't know. Probably.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, but everything's political. So, okay. Whatever the response is, like, that's the part. Have integrity, man. Even if you're wrong, just like, yeah, okay. I'll admit I can be wrong sometimes. So I'm going to go with it.
I know you are, but what am I? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nuh-uh. Throw a little nuh-uh in there. It'd be fantastic. Nuh-uh.
Going back to Jamal Bowman, man, the New York congressman that lost in a primary because he acts like a child.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me. You are not my supervisor.
Oh, and Lynn, be careful with that comment, man. I know a lot of men who are very emotional and react emotionally, and they're in high positions too. So it's not just a female thing. I mean, come on.
Get a little teary.
See?
Teary every now and again.
Mm-hmm.
Rob's seen me go bird hunting and I lose a bird. He sees me. He's seen me miss a couple times. Let's try to tear up a little bit.
That's right. One of the 4 times it's appropriate for a man to cry.
And by the way, Ron, hell yeah, Ron. Yeah, your mom. Your mom's getting political.
Exactly.
That would have been it. No, your mom is.
Exactly.
Yo, mama.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's very interesting, right? Because this is how politics works. So let's even go beyond what this judge is saying in Texas. Let's go to the very beginning, right? Biden comes in, millions of people come in, and then Biden all of a sudden, as it gets close to an election, he has a quote unquote solution. It's obviously politicking just from the sense that, oh, crap, there's an election 6 months away. Immigration is a top issue amongst American voters, and American voters don't like me. So what am I going to do? Placate the voters. Like, that's the worst part is the judge can't even see that the effort by McConnell and Biden was to just placate people, to shut up the media, to make it seem like it was Trump's fault that 11 million people have entered the United States under the asylum system. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so good. Give them Social Security numbers. They'll vote. Fine. I'm going back to Rhonda's, and I'm sorry to jump way back here to the Al Michaels AI thing. When she said about Howard Cosell. Do you remember the movie, one of the most underrated movies in history, Better Off Dead with John Cusack?
Oh, yeah.
And they had the 2 Asian guys that learned English by watching Howard Cosell in Wide World of Sports. And they talk just like Howard Cosell. Fantastic. Don't know why it was Lane Myers. That was awesome. Too good. Such a good foot. Thank you, Ron. Great. This is a damn great movie. Oh, man. Anyway. All right. Sorry.
Been a while since I've seen that one.
Yeah, but you know me. If you put I would have a doctorate degree if everything was taught in movies. Rob knows this. I would have a doctorate. It'd be Dr. Mike. As a matter of fact, just call me Dr. Mike. It's fine. Rob, why is Gayle King? I didn't see this link on here, buddy. It was just a thing. What was Gayle King talking about my man JT? And I'm going to tell you, Justin Timberlake, don't care what you think about his music, anything like that. He's literally one of the most talented humans to walk the earth. He literally is one of the most talented kids around, period.
So let's back it up a little bit. Agree with that, Mike. No doubt. So he was in Long Island, went out, was caught driving on the wrong side of the road.
It happens.
Was arrested for DWI. Now, very interesting because Timberlake refused a breathalyzer test, which is a good legal tactic, according to some defense attorneys, because it's better to, all right, you're going to get your license suspended for 30 days. Cool. Better than getting a DUI.
Yeah.
So he must have called his lawyer when he was in the car. He said he had 1 martini, and then it became this whole big thing, right? The internet, the judgmental internet. I can't believe Justin Timberlake got arrested for a DWI. He's not guilty of anything yet. He just got arrested, pulled over, and processed for a DUI. Okay?
Yeah.
So then Gayle King, who works on CBS now, does the morning show there. Oprah's best friend.
Can I throw? I'm sorry. Oprah's friend. Go. We're good. All right, cool.
Again, going back to integrity. If that's true, just come out and say that it's true. No one cares anymore.
Yeah, they don't care anymore.
Plus, most people suspect it. I actually don't believe it, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way.
And by the way, the street value of this snow, that's exactly the quote I was thinking of when I brought up that movie. Thank you. God, I love you guys. You guys are fantastic. Yes. Yes. Rick, sorry, I blew up your mom. You guys are the best. You guys are absolutely the best. Okay, sorry. Yes.
Wow, that's impressive.
Oh,
apparently, it's my favorite
I watched
movie.
that movie a bunch. We have French fries, French dressing. Yeah, all about it. Anyway, sorry. I apologize.
No point I was making.
Getting derailed by comedic genius over here. This is they're fantastic. Yes, it's pure snow.
This is actually integrity. Gayle King is standing up for Justin Timberlake and saying, "All right, enough with the cancel culture. Stop judging him. Whatever." I used to judge people on DUIs, Mike.
Really?
I don't anymore.
By the grace of God, go I. I will say it right here in front of God and everyone. By the grace of God, go I. There are too many damn times where hell, I shouldn't have got back to the radio station. Not lying. So I never judge on the DUIs. I'm like, I'm a lucky bastard.
Yeah. Well, and I think many people are, myself included, right?
Yeah.
And I think that as I started to realize that, and then there was this whole shaming attempt at our old radio station, Mike. And I don't remember if you were there yet, if this happened before you kind of came across, because you started at KFY, made your way over to KTAR, then we both went to KFYI.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a younger employee there, and some of the other younger employees found out that she had a DUI.
Yeah. And
they went and they found the DUI picture, and they sent it around the office.
Oh, I remember that.
And I remember at that moment, I'm like, wow, that's because she was a pretty cool person, like pretty nice person. Never wrote, she was nothing wrong with this woman at all. And to treat her like that, I thought was incredibly childish. Yeah. And I learned from that. I'm like, well, I ain't going to judge people for that because we all make mistakes. It's not like you haven't made mistakes, broski. That's me.
Exactly. Well, that station doesn't like women anyway, but let's move on. So it's truth. But here's the, I mean, look, okay. So, okay. All right. D-backs fans, it's okay. Is it going to be a little tough pill to swallow? Just deal. Okay. Mark Grace was your biggest miss. Mark Grace is a extreme DUI having dude. It's his thing. As a matter of fact, him and a counterpart from the former basketball team across the street, man, they love them some booze. And remember, they swept an extreme DUI under the rug. He just poof, disappeared. And then poof, he reappeared. Didn't say anything about it. Instead of a cool like PSA, be like, dude, this guy did 30 days in 10 City. And I think he did. But it was like, I mean, like, and just have him do the PSA. Guys, listen, I know you guys are going home from the game. You guys get a designated driver. Like there was something of value that was just missed because of the stupid pride of we can't let the St. Mark Grace look like the person he truly is. And that is somebody who gets extreme DUIs. Sorry. Same with Charles Barkley. Actually, I think Charles came out with that. I remember what I did. That's right. I told that cop I'd tattoo his name on my butt if you let me go. I remember that. Charles Barkley tried to get out of a DUI by telling the cop, if you let me go, I will tattoo your name on my butt. When you're drunk, you just do those kinds of things. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Come on. Well, it's again, going back to what we talk about all the time, it's very easy to judge people. And what does the judgment actually mean? So if I were to judge Justin Timberlake or Mark Grace, so what? What happens after that judgment? Am I on the right moral side? Do I get points for that? I don't know. So what I'm saying is Mark Grace obviously should learn his lesson. And to Mike's point, perhaps he would have if it actually was made public that Mark Grace got an extreme DUI instead of it being covered up because he's Mark Grace. Because there's a couple of other things about that. Again, this protection of information. It is protecting a make-believe persona in many ways. And if you have power and money, you can do that. So we believe, everything's awesome. Everything's great. Meanwhile, celebrities are just like you and me. They do dumb things. They make mistakes.
Yes.
But they just pretend that they don't. I mean, P. Diddy's a perfect example of how you can construct an image.
Oh, okay.
You can construct an image in public and be something completely different in the background, so long as you pay people big fancy PR people to build your image in a certain way.
This is, it's kind of interesting to me because I'm in this point right now where my kids are 18 and 16. And now I can tell them about dad's F-ups. I can tell them about the stupid things that I did. And it's not this, persona of dad was perfect, or, it just comes down to, no, I totally screwed up. Here's a bunch of examples of how your dad totally screwed up. And like I just said here, right in front of y'all, because y'all are family. Hey, dude, by the grace of God, go I. I'm not judging Justin Timberlake. I'm not at all. Because like I say, I've heard people say, he has so much money. Why doesn't he have a driver take him to this place and that place and this and that? I have enough money for Uber. I didn't. And so, I did the judgment. I'm definitely backing Rob on this 100%, because the judgment's just, it's absolutely stupid. And it's, he who was without, go ahead and cast the first stone. He is without sin is what it was. I know I wasn't doing a Joe Biden there. I wasn't, the deal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it's just one of these weird things too, because there are people who take prescription drugs that drive impaired every day, but we don't judge that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's just necessary for your medicine. It's totally fine. So we have all these weird rules, which is why I think you see so much inconsistency in politics, because when you adhere to one side or another, you almost have to abide by all the rules, even if they change. You're like, yeah, well, our guy spent some money too. Yeah, but we did it for the right reasons. Yes, we bribed you with your own money, but I like that. Wait, you like it? But what if Barack Obama signed the check? Would you like it?
Right thing to do.
Barack Obama put his names on the check. Oh, it says Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump.
Damn right.
Yeah,
right thing to do.
We want our views to be reinforced. That's like the big challenge of being a human. Is it's very easy to just be like, I want what I want, and I'm gonna. Especially now, you just press a button a million times, and then whatever you like shows up whenever you want it.
Especially covering. I'm sorry, we say, Ravi.
In the middle of a meeting, you press that search button on Instagram, and all the stuff you want to see is right there.
It's fantastic,
and it's probably better than the meeting.
Right, Kardashians. No, I see. And Rob can attest to this. I am so anti-Kardashian. You guys have no idea how anti-Kardashian I am. Going back to kind of the hiding of information and the kind of missed opportunities, DUIs, you might see a lot of signs around town. There's somebody that's running for a certain office that used to hold a very high-powered position here in Maricopa County and actually Arizona yeah, has found his way out of certain intoxicated situations, even one with a helicopter. Mm-hmm. Oh. So we're like, oh, he's running. Oh, we know his name. We're going to go ahead and vote for him. He's going to be the next. I'm not going to say what it is because I literally will get arrested if I say what it is.
Well, and again, right? That's why I protected information so that people will vote for you.
Yeah.
I'll just cover that up.
And
again, right? You're politically connected. My favorite thing is, it's like that the Men in Black line. When you just tell people that aliens exist or whatever the line is, you go, people are smart. He goes, a person is smart. People are dumb and panicky.
Yeah, right.
Great. Well, you know what? Sometimes we need to know the truth, though. And if we get panicky about it, so be it. I mean, we're panicky as it is. Either both sides are claiming democracy is about to end. We're all going to die. Nuclear war is imminent. World War III. Tornadoes, hurricanes. Every time you step outside, you're going to die. Now, in Phoenix, it might be true because it's really hot.
And no, his name's not Joe. Stop trying to get me in trouble. I'm not going to say his name. It rhymes with Bill and Ted. I'm just going to throw that out there. Okay, it rhymes with Bill and Ted.
I did see Rhonda loving Bill and Ted up there. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure holds up pretty well, actually.
Right here at Metro Center. Rest in peace, Metro Center.
It's right near my house, man.
Dude, how about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Y'all didn't even know you're hanging out with two West Siders, did you?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who said that if they keep hanging out with me, hanging out with us, they're going to go back to booze? Yeah, I said, haven't had drinking 23. Thanks, Greg. Yeah, haven't had drinking 23 years. If I spend time with you guys, I might start again. No. We're good. We're good with no. We're definitely good with no. Gosh, she was Joan of Arc in a previous. You guys have just come with the. I love you guys. I just do. I'm so excited. You guys are absolutely amazing. I love that. Look at that. Yep. And Noah's name's not Joe, so we get that. Oh, so the helicopter, was Said. Look at my people. Whatever. Fine. You guys are the best. Can we do that, by the way? Is that the thing we're going to do? Can we do this next week? Do you guys want to do just kind of a roundtable? Let's just kind of chat and have a discussion and answer some questions for you guys. You throw it anything. Nothing's off topic for me. I mean, you, Robbie, if you're down with that, we can do that too.
Let's rock it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, bring
ahead.
them. Think about it. Make them good questions. I'm going to challenge you. Like, if you're going to ask, make it good.
Oh, yeah.
Creative. Get creative. Nothing, like Mike said, nothing's off limits. So get creative.
The cool thing about Rob and I, I'll pat ourselves on the back with this. I think the reason why we've had success here in radio, Rob is like a broadcast veteran. Like Rob went to school for this. I was just a jabroni that thought, oh, I'll try radio one day. Is that we've never BS'd you. We are who we are. Like our names are really Mike Russell and Rob Hunter. Those are our real names. We didn't try to fake the funk out of the gates. We said, here's who we are. We're honest with you. This is the people we are. This is what we think about things. And this is how we live our lives. And you guys have seen probably the best of us and sometimes seen the worst of us. And we're just going to be honest with you. So yeah, nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, the Americans ain't drinking.
And the Canadians, Greg.
No, Greg got to understand, dude. Y'all got Molson Triple X up there. It's like moonshine, man. You had 18-year-olds drinking that. Check this out. I was talking to a buddy of mine who works for a very big construction company. And he was talking about going to an event where there was another big construction company. And they're just, balling it up, tomahawk steaks and all this, bottle service. And it was just this big thing. And then after they left dinner, they wanted to go to a club. And they had this kid. Now, I'm going to say what he looked. I mean, he's a Hispanic kid. He's 19 years old. He was Hispanic. And he was with the group. My buddy who I was talking to is about 5'9" and let's say heavy white guy, right? He gave him his ID. He gave the Hispanic kid his ID to get into this club. I love this. I just heard the story last night. And he going into the club, the bouncer stopped him and asked him, can I get your ID? And he goes, I have this one. Just straight up. I have this one. Not, yes, here's my ID. I have this one. And the bouncer took it. He's like, dude, I almost just go, dude, whatever. You gave me ID. Fine. Good Lord. It's dark out here. I can't see anything. Wow. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 9 quarts. You see, and then Greg comes with the metric system. No one on this entire feed knows what a quart is. We invented the metric system. We're the only nation that doesn't use it because we're Americans and we're stubborn.
That's right.
Damn it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Reich muscle. Stop.
You found us.
Okay. Yeah, we've been had. We've been had. All right, we'll do this again tomorrow. A little bit. See what a quart of milk. No, how about a liter of soda? Can anyone get that one? I want a liter of cola. No, a liter of cola is what he said. No, anyone?
32 ounces?
I don't think Rob's seen it.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Super Troopers.
I have not seen that. I've been meaning to watch it, but I've been meaning to watch a lot of things.
You haven't even seen Beer Fest. Did we watch Beer Fest?
No, we did not.
We didn't. That's weird. We had a beer show for how long?
I mean, this is an extension of it, so
yeah. Same. All right, team. Let's do this again tomorrow at noon. We'll get a little preview going on for what's going to happen with the ding ding ding, the one and only debate-ish. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow at noon right here in Russell Hunters. In other news, have a great afternoon, everybody. Thanks, Robbie.